What's up everybody, and welcome back to my channel and my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you a very time-honored tradition in my household, and frankly any Puerto Rican household that you know of. And we're going to make coquito. Yes baby, coquito. Time-honored tradition, one that I think you'll enjoy, and I'm going to share my recipe with you. So come on, let's get down with this. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that if you get 20 Puerto Ricans in a room, they'll all have their own version of coquito. Nothing wrong with that. Different people have different tastes, and even though you still need the same basic ingredients, some people add more of something or omit something, and that's okay. I mean, this is basically a drink that's more or less geared to your personal taste. So I've already laid out everything in my kitchen table. I'll leave all the links, the description down below. All the ingredients will be down in the description below, so you can follow along and try to make your own coquito at home. So with that, let's just go over the ingredient list, okay? Okay guys, so here we are. I've got everything all set up for you, and we're going to go one by one. But I just wanted to let some of you know, just in case you don't know what the heck coquito is. Coquito is our version of the eggnog, but with a little kick to it, right? So we tend to spice it up around the holidays. So that's what coquito is, our version of the eggnog with rum. So let's start with the ingredients and everything you're going to need. First things up is obviously the cream of coconut. So you're going to need 1 can of the Coco Lopez. This is the brand that I've used for years. It's the best one out there, and so I suggest you go and look for Coco Lopez, but technically any cream of coconut will do. You're also going to need 1 can of coconut milk. I use the Goya version of the coconut milk, and you can possibly find this in any supermarket in America. So you're going to need 1 can of coconut milk. You'll need 1 can of evaporated milk. Again, I use Carnation, but whatever evaporated milk you have, that'll be fine too. You'll need 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and this is one of the main ingredients of the coquito besides the rum. This is what adds the sweetness to the rum. It's the sweetening agent, so very important. So I use Eagle brand, but you can use, there's a couple of different brands. Anything that will work for you. Sweetened condensed milk, 1 can. You'll need about a pinch or a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. You'll need egg yolks. I use three large eggs. I separate them, so you'll need 3 egg yolks. Some people use 4, some people use 5. The more egg yolks, the creamier your coquito. So that's just like a to taste thing. But I tend to use 3 large eggs, separate them, and that's my egg yolks. Then you're going to need, obviously, your rum. I use Bacardi, and it's the white one. For me, I like the white one. Now, traditionally, it's supposed to be the 151 añejo, which is like their really, really, if you really want a rum that's going to kick your butt, it's the 151 traditionally. But I like a smoother type of coquito, so I've always used the white rum. But again, that's personal choice. You can use the 151, or you can use the white rum, which is the one that I use. But try to stick with Bacardi because that's the best one. Don't be cheap with your coquito. Get the good stuff. Then you're going to need a big mixing bowl, right? So this is where I mix everything here. You're going to need, and this is where I measure, in my measuring bowl, I'll measure the 2.5 cups of, or really 2 cups of the Bacardi. Now, and you're going to need a whisking thing here, so you can whisk, your coquito together. And then I have my can opener, my measuring spoons, this stuff to like mix it all in there. You also, you're going to need one of these funnels, right? Because the coquito, after it's done in the blender, because all of this is going to go in the blender, Then you'll put your funnel. Ooh, sorry. Jesus. Whoever hears me thinks that I already drank the freaking coquito. You're gonna need to do this in the funnel like this, right? And then that's what you'll pour your drink in because it's sort of like thick in the beginning. Okay, so let's start. In there. One more thing. Some people do put a little drop of vanilla. I don't, but I know people that put vanilla and even the vanilla sticks. So you could also spice it up a little bit with, you know, maybe one vanilla stick or a couple of drops of pure vanilla extract. But I don't tend to use it, but some people do. And then let me show you these bottles because definitely when you buy the Bacardi, I tend to like take the rum out and put it in another bottle because this is the bottle that I tend to leave it, you know, leave my mixed Bacardi, my mixed coquito in. And I clean them with hot water for a few days and then I pour them out. That way they're nice and sanitized and clean. I don't like to do coquito in plastic. I hate anything plastic, but the bottles are good. And sometimes I go about to the 99-cent store and I pick up bottles like this. This right now has my Bacardi in here. But I buy a lot of bottles like this. And when I make them for my family, you know, I put them in these things and then I give them to them for a gift. So they don't bother me. They got their own coquito. Okay. And then the last thing you're going to need is a blender. Right? I've had my mother's oysterizer for like 30 years. So any type of blender that you have will work because we're going to mix everything together and then put it in the blender for the final product. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is open up your cream of coconut. All right, so I'm going to open that up here. And the cream of coconut is like really thick. So that's why I always have the spoons ready. And then I just scoop it out like this. And then it just drops. It'll be creamy, but there'll also be like liquid in there. Right? And then you just make sure you put all of that in there like so. Make sure you get all of that nice stuff out of there. Don't be afraid to get in there. Right? So that's your cream of coconut. Next will be the coconut milk. Open that up. That there. And again, you know, put your spoon in there and get it all out in there. Hope you can see that. Coconut milk. Okay. Then you're going to need, let me just drop this over here for a second. As you can see, I always put napkins on the table. That way, at the end of this process, everything goes in the garbage. Make sure you shake your, you know, your evaporated milk. And this, you always have to, like, use the can opener for it. I haven't seen an evaporated milk that comes with a damn top, like a pop top. So, let's do this. Make sure it's out there good. And I always hold it like this a little bit and then go ahead and pour it in there. That's your evaporated milk. Alright, okay. Next would be the sweetened condensed milk. Man, and this stuff is good. I mean, you can just literally lick your fingers with this. This is like my favorite. Right up in here. Yeah, you put all of that in there. Sweetened condensed milk. And make sure you get that all nice and in there. Woo! I don't know, but when you start making this thing, it's like the party is about to start, baby. And you know what? Usually I have like music and stuff in the background. But you know what? Since YouTube like is really big on these copyright infringement things, you know, but usually like there's like Hector Lavoe, Celia Cruz, there's somebody blasting, you know, on my Alexa app back there. But you know what? We can't play music, but okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and beat my eggs a little bit. And again, I use 3 eggs, so I just beat it like that for a little bit, a few minutes, a few seconds, and then just pour in your eggs. Alright, so that's good. Put that to the side. And next would be my cinnamon, right? And I always just put a little bit of cinnamon. You don't have to put tons, just a little sprinkle here and there, because you know, for some reason cinnamon goes like a long way with this. So there's my cinnamon. And now let's get down with the main ingredient, which is the rum. And for that, let me just pull this one out. And like I said, you know, I tend to go 1.5 cups. I'm more like, I want my people to like be able to drive home, right? Even though this year, you know, it's just going to be us. There's not really going to be anybody here because of the COVID thing. But I start off with like 1.5 cups. You know what I'm saying? Get that in there real good. Ooh, it's nothing like rum. And now you put in your rum. All right. Okay, this is good. Now you can start mixing it, and you got to start very softly, right? Very softly, because the coconut cream is really, really thick. So, you know, we're going to do this very soft, very softly. You know, I usually press down a little bit to get the coconut. You know, and you see what I'm saying about the coconut, how it gets stuck there in the whisk. So just very softly start mixing it around, nice and smooth and easy. All right. Okay, we're almost ready to put it in the into the blender. Okay, so now once we're done with the stirring, and you know, you're gonna get those little creamy bumps out of there as best you can. You don't gotta go crazy because it's gonna go in the blender. Right? So now it's time to start putting it in the blender, and this is like a very slow job, really messy job, because it's like basically all over the damn place. Let's go ahead and put that there. And okay, so now this is the second batch, right? From the same recipe, same can, same everything. So now I'm going to remove it from here. Alright, and we're going to pour it into the rest of this Bacardi bottle. Finish it up. And like I said, it's just should make just enough. This recipe here makes enough to fill up this bottle all the way to the top. Let me see where I am right now. Yep, still can do a little bit more. And you'll see it, right? And it'll pour nice in there. Perfect. Okay guys, so this is your finished product, right? So that wasn't too bad, right? For a little tradition, holiday tradition in your refrigerator. Don't forget that this does have to be refrigerated for 3 to 4 hours. And so don't think you're going to go partying real quick. But by tomorrow, which is Christmas Eve, this will be ready to go. And I tend to shake it like this before serving, right? But I'm going to put this to bed, put myself to bed because tomorrow is Christmas Eve. And yeah, you know I'm going to have a sip of this bad boy. So I hope you learn something, learn how to make your own coquito. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe below. And I'll see you soon. Ciao.